It's around the time of year where every AFL YouTuber and their dog get a video like this out. We're going to be ranking every AFL Indigenous Guernsey for 2022. It's always an exciting period when Indigenous round rolls around the corner because I'm always really excited to see what the new Indigenous Guernseys have to offer. I know last year I was actually the first person to get a video like this out, but this year, you know, UCAT, Ryder, a few others got it out before me, so props to them. This time around, I'm using the tier maker made by Rolls Macca, so go check him out. I'm expecting he's going to get a video out like this, probably on the same day as mine. First up, we've got Gold Coast. It's a little bit tough to see, but I will show it up on screen. There's a bigger picture. I don't mind it. There's a cool little crocodile design on the bottom of the Guernsey, and I like the patterns. But for now, it's probably okay. There's nothing that just stands out. It's a little bit generic, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's necessarily bland. It's all right, but I've seen better from the Suns. We've got the Bulldogs. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this design before. I think it is better than the Suns. I'd put it just to the end of good. Like, I like the colour scheme. The Dogs, I've always been a fan of the Dogs home Guernsey because of the fact that I really like the blue, red, and white. Yeah, I like the patterns. It's pretty cool. A little bit generic. Nothing too special, but, you know, nothing wrong about it. So we've got Richmond. Obviously, this Guernsey they'll be using this one for the Dreamtime of the G Clash. I think Marlon Pickett was the one who designed this Guernsey. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to play on the weekend. Yeah, it's probably better than the Dogs. Like, it is quite basic, but I really do like the dot patterns on the sash. They do look really cool. They stand out, and I like the little designs on the bottom. I can't really see them. I think they look like Indigenous people. I feel like it might be, perhaps symbolising unity. I probably don't think this is quite awesome or elite, but I still think it's pretty good. Next up, we've got Carlton's. Now, I'm a fan of the light blue and the navy blue sort of blended together. I think this one looks really cool. Normally, Carlton's Indigenous Guernseys are quite bland. It almost looks like just a normal home Guernsey in itself, but I like this one. I'm going to put in awesome. I think it's better just than the Richmond one. I really like the pattern designs. I don't necessarily know what they are, but they just look really cool. Port Adelaide's up next, and yeah, it's all right. It's definitely different from what we would normally see from the Power, but it's a little bit bland. It's just the black. I do like the Swan. I think that is. I don't mind the patterns as well that have been included, but it's a little bit bland. It's sort of just the black. There's a little bit of teal, but yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite. I'm going to put it behind the Suns in okay. Now Adelaide's, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know who designed this, but it looks stunning. You've got to give it props when teams actually use their animal within these Indigenous Guernseys, and the Crows have been doing it before, and they've done it again quite nicely. I think I've got to put in awesome. The feathers, the yellow and red, really looks nice, and it's unique. We have seen something similar from the Crows in recent years, but this is a whole new design of the Crow, and I really like it. Next up, we've got Brisbane's. I liked their Guernseys last year a little bit more, but I like the maroon in this one. It stands out, and in the middle of a couple of dot paintings, you can see that it says 25 years, which obviously signifies 25 years that the Lions have been in the competition. Do I think it's better than the Richmond? Probably not. I'll put it in the middle of Richmond and the Dogs. I think it's pretty cool. Now, the Eagles have done it again. I'm not too sure if this is the same as last year's. I know last year's they went for something really similar with a serpent. Even if it is a repeat, I still think it's pretty awesome. Like, I had it quite high in the ranks last year. I'll have it below the Crows. I just really like the colour scheme and the pattern of the serpent. It's quite unique. I'm not too sure why the Eagles have gone for the serpent pattern, considering that they're obviously the West Coast Eagles. If it was a double up, I don't think it would have been as good, but regardless, I think it's an awesome. Now we've got Geelong next. Yeah, Geelong are a team that very rarely go out of the ordinary in terms of jumper designs. You never really see many unique designs in terms of Cats Guernseys, but this time, obviously, for Indigenous round, I've got to go for something different, and I quite like it. I'm going to put it in good ahead of the Lions. I don't really know what it's supposed to symbolise, and I could arguably say the same for like half of these Guernseys, to be fair, but if we're just solely rating it on how the Guernsey looks, I think it's in the good. Next up, we've got Melbourne's. Oh, we've got to put a couple in elite. I'd almost put this one in elite. I love the blue and the red. They look super cool together. You got the red boomerang. I think the blue at the top symbolises like the night sky, and then you got a bird on the bottom. Not too sure why the Demons have a bird on the Guernsey, but, you know, it obviously symbolises something. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. I'm going to put in elite. So far, the best Guernsey of the lot. Essendon's is also pretty nice. It's a little bit basic, but geez, I like the red. I really do like the red. And the patterns that are displayed on the jumper are pretty clean. So yeah, I might have to put in awesome as well. Do I think it's better than Carlton's? Probably not. I reckon below the blues, but still pretty good. Now, GWS, in previous years, the Giants, I feel like they've gone for the same design every single year, but finally they've sort of switched things up a little bit, and I quite like it. I'm going to put it in awesome. Obviously, you've got the little patterns that obviously signify meeting places, I'm pretty sure, around the G. I think it's pretty clean. I don't quite think it's as good as the West Coast one, but it's better than the Blues one, just. Next up, we've got the Hawks. Hawks have a lot of nice designs, but they just don't really hit me in terms of how I think they look. Again, this one doesn't really scream Hawthorn. I just feel like it's a little bit basic. There's not a lot to this one. And I almost feel like I've seen it before. At least something similar. So, I think it's better than the Gold Coast one. There's a little bit more to it, but I'm going to chuck it in the okay section for now. Now, I saw North Melbourne. They seem to really hit the nail on the head in terms of elite Indigenous Guernseys. This one is another really, really nice design. Again, bonus points when they're going to adopt the kangaroo. They've done it really well on this one. If I was a North fan, for sure I'd be buying that Guernsey. And almost, if I was like an Andy Munro and collected Guernseys, that would be one of the top Guernseys that I'd be going for this Indigenous set. Collingwood is up next. Yeah, with this Guernsey, it's a little bit of a strange one. You know, you've got a couple of the magpie leaves, but that's about it. You've got very minor Indigenous patterns on the stripes, but they're very, very hard to see. Like, you can barely see them on the close-up image. I don't feel like the leaves seem very symmetrical. They seem sort of out of place, in my opinion, and it is a little bland. I don't know. I feel like the pies might go on the bland. They don't seem to do a very good job in terms of Indigenous Guernsey. They had one really good Guernsey with the swooping magpie. This one isn't really it for myself. I'm not a massive fan of it. So I'm going to chuck in the bland. Sorry, Pies fans. Next up, we've got my Saints. You know, first glance, it seems quite bland. Or it seems almost a bit messy when you look at it. You've got the Nicky Winmar pose on the bottom left. You've got little bits of red and black scattered across the front of the Guernsey, which I think it's quite a nice touch. Obviously, it's an away Guernsey, so it is predominantly white. But it's... I like it. Maybe I'm a bit biased as a Saints fan, but... I feel like there's not enough to it for me to put in awesome, but I'm going to put it top of good. I do like this design. I might, if there's a chance to buy it, I need a new Saints Guernsey. I might go for this one because, you know, I think it's good enough to purchase. Now, second last, we've got Sydney's. This is really unique with the Swans because normally when teams bring out their Indigenous Guernsey, the colours that they normally use in their design are their club colours, but this one's a little bit different because there's a lot of blue. The blue stands out in this one a lot, and well, when was the last time you saw blue in the Sydney Swans Guernsey? I like the fact that they've got the outline of the Sydney Opera House in an Indigenous imprint. And yeah, I like the look of all the little circles joining up together. They look really cool. I think the Swans one, honestly, there's a little bit more to it than the ones in good. I'm probably going to chuck it in between Carlton and Essendon's. I like that one a lot. Then last but not least, we've got Fremantle. Again, Fremantle usually do a pretty good job with their Indigenous Guernseys. This one... yeah, no exception. I like it. It's a little bit messy, though. You've got it looks like feathers on the top as a replacement of the chevron. I don't know why there are feathers for a Fremantle Guernsey. I don't feel like all of these designs on the Guernsey sort of match, but, you know, that's obviously my opinion. I feel like the Dockers are going to be put in okay. I feel like it's a bit harsh for the Dockers, but, you know, compared to the other ones, I don't quite like it as much. So we've got the tiers. Do we switch it up a little bit? Elite... we've got Melbourne and North. I reckon we drag the Bombers down, and we're going to drag the Crows up one. You know, I'm pretty happy that I'm going to the game where the Crows will be wearing this Guernsey. Can't wait to see it in action. And also we got West Coast, TWS, Carlton, Sydney. Just snuck the Bombers down in good. The Saints have put in there. The Cats and the Lions and the Dogs aren't too bad. I just feel like I've seen this one from the Dogs so many other times. And then Freo's, I wasn't a big fan of. Hawthorn's Gold Coast, and honestly, from afar, like, it looks like there's almost nothing on the Guernsey. It's just plain black. So, yeah, it's quite bland. I feel like there's a reason why I've titled this tier bland. I've got to chuck it in bland. I'm sorry, but not the biggest fan of the Port one. So, yeah, we've got Port and Collingwood in bland. But as I said before, it's really cool to see all these designs for Indigenous round and see all the teams wear these Guernseys out on the footy field. Also, quickly check out Rolls Macca. Of course, he made the tier maker, and you know, his content is first class. It is really phenomenal, so I definitely recommend you guys checking him out. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as I said earlier, I'll be off to Adelaide on the weekend, so expect a couple of vlogs. Should be heaps of fun. Hopefully the Saints get up, and yeah, we'll see you soon in my next video. Have a good one.